The Christmas lights were beautiful. The restaurant smelled like gingerbread and cinnamon. And yet single dad Noah Hale sat alone, seconds away from giving up on love forever, until his tiny daughter tugged at his sleeve, leaned in close, and whispered words that changed everything. "Daddy, she's the one." A man who had forgotten what hope felt like. Christmas Eve had always been magical for most people. But for Noah, it was the raw reminder of everything he had lost. His wife, Emily, had passed away 3 years earlier in a winter car accident that still haunted him. Since then, he had raised Mia, their 5-year-old daughter, with more love than he had money, more determination than he had sleep, and more fear than he ever admitted. He worked as a mechanic during the day and delivered groceries at night, trying desperately to keep bills paid and hope alive. But dating? Romance? Trusting someone with his heart again? Impossible. Or so he thought. His sister, stubborn as the December cold, had signed him up for a Christmas blind date. "You deserve happiness, Noah," she argued. "At least try." And so, exhausted, anxious, and very unwilling, he found himself sitting in a cozy Christmas-themed cafe, snow melting off his boots, waiting for a woman whose name he didn't even know. Mia sat beside him, swinging her legs under the chair, clutching the stuffed reindeer she took everywhere. She had insisted on coming. "I have to make sure she's nice," she had declared confidently. "And pretty, and that she laughs at your jokes." Noah smiled at the memory. "I don't have jokes." "You have dad jokes," she corrected. "Same thing." He kissed the top of her head, grateful. In the absence of a partner, Mia had become his world, his reason, his anchor. But now, sitting here, the minutes kept passing. 5 minutes late, 10, 20. "Maybe she's just stuck in traffic?" Mia suggested, trying to stay hopeful. Noah sighed. "Or maybe she saw my profile and decided I wasn't worth the trouble." Mia frowned hard. "That's silly. You're the best daddy. They should make a trophy for you." He laughed, but it didn't reach his eyes. And then, the cafe bell jingled. The woman who walked in like a winter dream. A woman stepped inside, brushing snow from her coat. She had long dark hair dusted with sparkling flakes, cheeks rosy from the cold, and eyes that held warmth even from across the room. She looked around nervously, clutching her purse. Then her gaze found Noah. She froze. He froze. Mia gasped dramatically. She approached their table slowly. "Are you Noah?" she asked, her voice gentle and melodic. "Yes," he said, standing instinctively. "And you're?" "Aria Bennett," she said with an apologetic smile. "I'm so sorry I'm late. Well, there was a whole misunderstanding with a lost shoe, a sleigh display, and a very angry mall Santa. Long story." Mia burst into giggles. Aria's eyes lit up. In that moment, Noah felt something stir inside him. Something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. A Christmas blind date already falling apart. But the moment he sat down, everything began unraveling. Aria tried starting conversation. He answered awkwardly. She complimented the cafe decorations. He nodded stiffly. She asked about his hobbies. He hesitated, realizing he didn't remember the last time he had one. It wasn't her. It was him. She was lovely, warm, funny, intelligent, but he felt rusty, clumsy, broken. Every time Aria looked at him with soft eyes, he felt guilt wash over him. How could he feel something for someone who wasn't Emily? At one point, Aria gently asked, "So, what made you decide to try a blind date on Christmas Eve?" Noah froze. He didn't want to talk about Emily. He didn't want to talk about the accident. He didn't want Aria to see the wounded parts of him. So he shrugged and said, "My sister made me." Aria looked down, twisting her napkin. Oh, the air shifted. The warmth dimmed. The date was slipping through his fingers. And Noah didn't know how to save it. The little girl who saw what her father couldn't. As Noah and Aria stumbled through forced small talk, Mia quietly watched them both, eyes wide and thoughtful. Then she nudged her father's arm. "Daddy," she whispered. "Can I talk to you for a second? Important girl things." He blinked. Sure." She motioned him down. He leaned close, and with all the innocent wisdom of a child born from love, Mia whispered the words that would soon change everything. "She's the one, Daddy." Noah pulled back, startled. "What?" Mia nodded firmly, eyes serious. "She looks at you like she sees you, and you look at her like you're scared, but not in a bad way, like your heart remembers something." Noah swallowed the lump in his throat. "But the date isn't going well," he murmured. "That's because you're being awkward," she declared with comedic honesty. He choked on a laugh. "Daddy," she said softly, "I don't remember Mommy very much, just her smell and her songs. But she always told me that love comes twice. Once when you don't expect it, and once when you need it." The cafe lights twinkled. Snow fell beyond the frosted windows, and Noah felt something inside him start to thaw. Maybe, just maybe, his heart wasn't as dead as he thought. A date rescued by truth and kindness. He returned to the table. Arya looked nervous, fiddling with her spoon. "Sorry about that," Noah said. "It's okay," she replied quietly. "I know this whole thing must feel strange. You don't have to pretend to enjoy it if you're not." Her voice trembled at the end, betraying more vulnerability than she meant to show. And that was the moment it hit him. She wasn't perfect. She wasn't rehearsed. She wasn't effortless. She was real, and she was trying. Noah inhaled deeply. "Arya," he said, "I'm sorry. I've been guarded. But not because of you." She looked up slowly. "My wife passed away," he said, voice gentle. "And sometimes I still feel like I'm learning how to breathe without her." Arya reached across the table, hesitated, then placed her hand near his, giving him space to choose. He didn't hesitate. He placed his hand on hers. "I'm so sorry, Noah," she whispered. "And thank you for telling me." Mia grinned so hard she nearly fell off her chair. The Christmas kindness that changed the atmosphere. From that moment on, the date transformed. Arya didn't pressure him. She didn't pity him. She didn't fill the silence with meaningless chatter. She simply showed kindness. The three of them shared hot cocoa with marshmallow snowmen. They decorated gingerbread cookies, where Arya and Mia teamed up to give Noah a cookie beard. They laughed real laughter that filled the little cafe like carol bells. Arya told Mia silly stories about her disastrous cooking attempts. Mia told Arya how Noah burned every grilled cheese ever made. Arya told Noah about her failed past relationships with men who wanted her money instead of her heart. And Noah told her about the loneliness he'd lived with since losing his wife. It was honest. It was vulnerable. It was healing. For both of them. A moment that felt like Christmas magic. Near the end of the night, as they stepped outside into softly falling snow, Arya wrapped her scarf tighter. "This was actually really nice," she said shyly. "No," Mia corrected her. "This was the best Christmas date ever." Noah laughed. "She's very generous with reviews." "Maybe she's right, Arya,"